Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us on this sunny, mild Monday afternoon. It's 106 right now, and temperatures outside the FM metro. Bridgette, get this, 78 degrees. It is beautiful out there, just like Sunday was. I wish everyone had a happy Mother's Day, including you, Bridgette. Did you have a happy day?
Absolutely. It was a great day. And if all of a sudden my background changes because I'm outside on my patio while we do this, never mind. It's going to be fine.
You should have said you're on the golf course like that guy who wears the green screen as a backpack, and he's playing golf in the middle of a business meeting, and his background's just shaking and bouncing around.
Here's the problem. My golf game is so bad, I can't even fake that that's going well. So, no.
Hey, we could get out there and we could see who could shoot the worst score.
All right, fine. But our challenge is gardening. And there's a possibility that my garden might get tilled today, Justin.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Where's your garden at?
Ours is, I just mowed some grass off of it yesterday. And we will be tilling it hopefully this weekend because I got to call Excel before I start tilling in there. So, new yard. I don't know if there's any wires in there, and I don't feel like learning. So we'll just call someone to come survey it quick.
I strongly recommend to anybody starting a new gardening area, or if you're pounding in posts for some fencing, yes, a quick call to 411 to do a locate means, well, you don't get hurt. You don't die. Those types of things are important.
Yeah, I found out. Well, I'm pretty sure the service is free, and it makes sense. I'm like, well, why would they offer this service for free? And I'm like, well, it's probably cheaper for them to come out and survey it versus coming out there and repairing a gas line. And that's the reason why they'll do it for free. So if you have any plans on digging through your yard or anything like that, and you haven't done it before, give Excel a call and just save everybody a headache, because nobody wants to have internet down for a few days because you cut through a cord.
Well, especially you, because that's going to be your responsibility.
That would be my issue.
That's not a freebie mistake.
No.
That's your problem, pal.
Not going to deal with that.
Well, I am thrilled to see that the weather is improving. Is it going to stick with us all week, or are we getting those rain showers towards the end that have been rumored?
Where did you hear the little rumor from?
You.
Oh. Yeah, we still got those scattered showers in the forecast. Good news is, looks like it's coming through mainly through the overnight hours, and that would be Wednesday night, and then maybe a couple scattered showers Thursday afternoon. And most of the heavier rain is going to be to our north because they escaped on Saturday's rain. We picked up about a ½ inch here in Fargo on Saturday, anywhere from about 3/10 to, I think the highest I saw so far was about 3/4 of an inch throughout the Southern Valley and Lakes country. So we're good on water right now. It looks like maybe a 2/10 to a ½ inch is what we're expecting by the end of the week, while the Northern Valley will be closer to that ½ inch to an inch mark by the end of this week. So they'll kind of get a little extra moisture to catch up, and we'll get the lesser amounts is the way it looks right now to kind of help balance things out.
That's some pretty big variability. And I will say there was in this past weekend's rainfall as well, because I was back home close to my home anyway. I was down at Ashley for a graduation this weekend, and it poured on Friday night. And yet Saturday I was getting snaps from north of Highway 200, Mayville, etc. They were still in the field. So really variable in the amount of rainfall that happened. Planting is going on. People are making progress. There are sugar beets going in the ground today. Wheat, soybeans, maybe not our soybeans quite yet, Justin, but
Sadly,
soon we're waiting to put they are our Peterson Farm Seed soybeans. Thank you to Peterson's for being one of our sponsors for Here We Grow. They are the largest regional seed company in the area. We'd love for you to give them a call if you have some seed needs, but more importantly, they're going to be part of our project as soon as we get to plant, and maybe that'll happen this week.
I know. I was really hoping we were going to get out there last week, but the dang rain pushed us out of the field. I wanted to get those extra 2 weeks of growing, but you get what you can get, right?
Well, you know what? Always wait for conditions to be fit, because I'm not sure if you checked. It's not exactly easy to pull tractors out of the field when they're stuck. I've been getting plenty of photos on social media of stuck equipment, and we would prefer that not be anything that we're using.
Nope. And we don't have tracks on our tractors, so we got to really worry about that.
Absolutely. I know you're concerned. Hey, by the way, bravo for all of your equipment discussion on Friday when I was gone. You had Jeremy Hughes from Horsch, who was
Oh,
my
that was
fill-in
awesome.
host that day. And you guys did a great job. I know that you love equipment even more now.
Oh, of course I do. Yeah, he was a really good guest host to come in and kind of. Well, we kind of just started interviewing him halfway through the show because he's just a wealth of knowledge, and then the whole last segment turned into Farming Simulator, and that was a real joy to talk about that because Farming Simulator did some work with Horsch, and they put their
Mhm.
farm in one of their games as well as some of their equipment.
You should know that my 9-year-old nephew was all ears about that discussion with Farming Simulator. And another one of our Here We Grow sponsors, which is Titan Machinery, they also have equipment in the Farming Simulator game. So you will never be at a loss with solidly good equipment if you're using anything from our sponsors.
Yes, indeed. Well, we got a few fun things coming up on the show today, Bridget. Some of the ag topics that we'll, again, attempt to get to today because we always seem to have too much fun to get to all of them. And one of them is SCOTUS on pork. And I believe that has something to do with a bill that was passed over in California. Am I correct or wrong on that?
You are. And so let's discuss that just a little bit. The
Sure.
Supreme Court ruled last week, Thursday, on May 11th, in favor to uphold legislation that happened in the state of California well over a year ago. This legislation came in, and I'm probably going to be a little biased on this and say it was certainly directed from animal activist groups. This legislation, known as Prop 12, means that in the state of California, there is a ban on pork products, bacon, sausage, etc., that have been raised in a confinement operation where the animal is not allowed to lie down, stand up, turn around, etc. Now, let's do a little history. When hogs are raised in confinement, they're not in like a dog kennel, okay? They are in a stanchion where they can actually move around, and their animal welfare is well taken care of. We keep pigs separated for what reason, Justin? I've mentioned it before.
Because pigs are jerks and they eat each other.
They do. They will chew each other's ears off and other atrocious things. And so, because we have to keep pigs separated so we don't have pig-to-pig aggression, it's also a biosecurity measure. And so they
Bridget,
can't
I'm
spread
sorry.
disease.
I got to cut you off here. We'll have to get you reconnected real quick.
Okay.
You're picking up a lot of
Ah,
static over there on your end. So let's get that fixed real quick. We'll run down the forecast, take a short break, and then we'll come back with our guest, and we'll come back to this topic. Our guest today is going to be Chad Preweave from Dakota Bank. We're going to learn a little bit more about ag lending and ag business and exactly what they do over there. And they just put up a brand new location here in the FM Metro. So if you haven't checked them out, we'll be talking all about what they're doing over there coming up in our next segment, as well as a few other ag topics and that forecast I was mentioning. Yesterday was a beautiful day. Today is a beautiful day. Tomorrow is a beautiful day. It's just a week of beautiful weather until we start to get to the tail end, and we'll start to cool things off just a little bit. So we're expecting mainly sunny skies today, 78 degrees. Was forecasting 81 for our high. We may potentially break into the mid-80s today. Regardless, absolutely beautiful out there. We'll be in the lower 80s to mid-80s around our area this afternoon with a west-northwest wind picking up today around 10 to 15 miles an hour, a few occasional gusts up to 20. For tonight, that wind backs off around 5 to 15 out of the west, mainly clear with temperatures leveling off in the mid-50s, and like I mentioned, probably our warmest day tomorrow. Absolutely gorgeous. Mainly sunny to partly cloudy. Mid and upper 80s for your Tuesday afternoon. It is going to feel quite warm out there, and we'll have just enough of a breeze to kind of help out with an out of the northeast at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Now, we'll turn a little more breezy as we head into Wednesday. This is because we got another clipper system pulling into our area. Those winds will start to pick up through the morning into the afternoon on Wednesday out of the southwest between 10 and 25, being a little gustier than that at times. Partly cloudy throughout the day. Temperatures a little cooler, upper 70s to lower 80s. And as that cold front pushes through into Wednesday night, we'll see a likely chance for some scattered showers around our area. And we could see a few of those lingering into your Thursday morning. But we'll then dry out for Thursday afternoon. Temperatures are in the 60s, still a bit breezy. Could see a few scattered showers Thursday evening. And then Friday ain't looking too bad either, but it will be our cooler day of our 7-day forecast. We're in the upper 50s to lower 60s before we slowly start to warm back up into the 70s for the upcoming weekend. So not too bad. And Bridget, it looks like we got you back. Do you want to pick back up on that conversation we're having about pigs being jerks?
Okay, so back to why we raise hogs in confinement, because it's also a biosecurity hazard. It keeps pig-to-pig aggression from happening,
Hmm.
also prevents the spread of disease by keeping them in their own small pens. Now, what the animal activists want is, first of all, no animal meat consumption, right? And so they specifically chose California because they felt it would be an emotional vote. California raises less than 1% of all the hogs in the U.S. Meanwhile, they are supplied by other states, such as the 13% of the U.S. hogs that are raised in Iowa. What's going to happen with Prop 12 by banning pork products that were raised in confinement, this will affect the middle and lower income families that rely on pork products as part of their major diet. Also, it's going to raise the price of pork. It will change the availability of pork products in that state, whether it's sausage, fresh pork, pork chops, any of that type of thing. The reason this went all the way to the Supreme Court was because Iowa was literally suing California, saying, you're impeding on our interstate trade and commerce by not allowing this. You're affecting our economy in Iowa greatly because of all the interstate transit of pork products from Iowa to California. National pork producers have said, hey, we don't like this. This is not a great thing. Please make sure that this is focused in the right ways. Unfortunately, we don't think that's going to happen, and we're going to watch more states potentially be involved in these types of animal activist legislation.
Got thoughts on that?
Yeah.
And probably a good thing we don't have time for me to talk about them.
That's okay. We're going to come back from break with our guests today. Chad's already in studio and waiting to roll. And a quick shout out. I believe earlier when I said if you want to do a location for digging, you're supposed to call 411. That's actually the weather. 811 would be who we call for locate. So quick check there, folks. Call 811 if you want to locate before you till your gardens or pound posts. Meanwhile, take that little fact of information, keep it handy, and stay right here when we come back from this break.
Hey everyone, John Adams here. I hope you'll join me on WDAY Radio for my new talk show, Talk of the Town with John Adams. Every Wednesday from 11 to noon, we'll talk about issues that affect us all in the Fargo-Moorhead community. We'll talk taxes, the diversion, places to go and things to do, and of course, bison and Viking football. We'll talk about issues that affect everyone in this great community that we call home. That's Talk of the Town with John Adams, Wednesdays at 11 on WDAY Radio.
Windows can quiver, dogs get excited, plants duck for cover, small children climb into beds between their parents.
Mother Nature treats North Dakota a little different than most states. She likes to show us her power, and honestly, she's pretty awesome.
Springtime in North Dakota can change quickly with thunderstorms swooping in and spitting water bullets like a machine gun.
If your windows and doors are older, you'd be surprised how much energy you're losing and how much money you could be saving.
We'd love to show you windows and doors that will improve the beauty of your home and are more energy efficient. I'm Andrew, the manager of the Window and Door Store in Fargo.
And I'm Jaden. Our team of window and door specialists will meet you anywhere and whenever it works best for you.
Every single homeowner we've sold windows to got our lifetime guarantee on the installation of their windows. We'll give it to you as well.
Call us and schedule a no obligation, no pressure estimate. Even if you only want 1 or 2 windows, we'd love to show you our windows and doors.
The Window and Door Store in Fargo. Better windows, better doors.
Are you looking for an event photographer? Then look no more. Urban Toad Media offers a wide range of event photography, from corporate and commercial events, private parties, press coverage, and more. Urban Toad Media understands the importance of capturing every element of your event in a professional manner. They can work in any environment and have an eye for spotting the special moments, whether it's a business event or private celebration. Contact Urban Toad Media today to book your event at urbantoadmedia.com.
Spring is here and the scenery while driving down the road will soon be filled with farm machinery planting this year's crop. Hi, this is Bethany Rentz, crop insurance agent with IRE Insurance. As fieldwork begins, we want to remind you to take extra caution when approaching large, slow-moving machinery traveling down the road. A successful crop year is one that is accident-free. IRE Insurance offers all lines of insurance, and we would love the opportunity to visit with you. For our contact information, please visit our website at ireins.com.
You're protected and appreciated at IRE.
IRE Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your kitchen with new appliances from Regal's. Get up to $2,000 back on select GE Profile appliances now through June 1st, featuring the latest smart home technology, providing a simpler and smarter cooking and cleaning experience. Smart technology meets unbeatable prices, plus free delivery and free recycling of your old appliances. Find out why for over 75 years Regal's has delivered value. Regal's, 609 Main Avenue, Moorhead.
Has the bear market devastated your portfolio? If you're tired of financial salespeople who just sell you a product and move on, then it's time to call Collins & Kronk today. See how they're different. At Collins & Kronk, they start with a plan and a strategy, then proactively manage your money to meet your goals. Call the team at Collins & Kronk, 701-235-0119. That's 701-235-0119. Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Collins & Kronk is not a broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
What do eyewear and weather have in common? Join us for the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast to find out. Each Tuesday morning, Dean Wysocki, Justin Storm, and myself, Ashley Freeborn, owner of Aspire Optical, will bring you the 7-day forecast.
You never know where we'll be or how it will be presented, but we promise to bring you the most accurate forecast this side of the Red River.
And learn how you can save big on eyewear from Aspire Optical.
Watch the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages.
Trust us, this is weather and eyewear like you've never seen.
Let the Goose River Bank become your community bank. They believe a strong bank builds strong communities and would be proud to be your bank.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. It's 1:23 on this Monday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm with Ag Director Bridgette Readel, and our special guest for today, that's Chad Preewee from Dakota Bank. And we're going to be talking a little bit about ag lending, ag business, and everything in between and what they're doing over there at Dakota Bank. And if you want to join in on the conversation, feel free to do so by calling the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000, or you can always reach us via email during or after the show with any weather or ag-related questions or topics, weather@flagfamily.com, as well as ag@flagfamily.com. Now, at this time, I'll introduce Chad Preewee with Dakota Bank. And Chad, tell me a little bit about yourself and what is Dakota Bank, because I believe you're relatively new to the area. Is that correct?
Yep, we are new to the Fargo area. Just opened a branch located on 13th Avenue next to Target. There was an existing bank there that moved out, and Dakota Bank had been looking to expand into the Red River Valley Fargo market, kind of the Red River Valley ag market in general too, and took that opportunity to locate in that branch in that building and basically start a branch from scratch. We're what you call a de novo bank branch, which means basically starting from the ground up, starting from zero, didn't purchase any assets or loans or anything when moved into that bank. So starting from basically the ground up and building relationships and business and assets and everything from there.
And what's that felt like to start something from the ground up, from where it started to what it is today? What's kind of been happening during that time frame, and what does it feel like for you to be a part of that?
Well, it's kind of an interesting challenge. It's a unique situation. There aren't a lot of banks that go out and approach it that way. Dakota Bank has done it in a few locations now, and it has been successful in other places they've done it. Jamestown, they've started one a few years back. I'm not sure how many years. Just opened one in Bismarck after the Fargo branch here too. But it's certainly a challenge. We're the first Dakota Bank branch in the Fargo area, so we're doing a lot of advertising, marketing, PR type stuff, and you got to get your name out there and known. And we're trying to be out and about and seen and be visible in the community and different things like that. It's kind of a Dakota Bank way of business. They are a community bank, and they do a lot of give back to community and a lot of volunteering and stuff in the communities that they're in. So kind of doing some of that to start with, but it's a process, when you're trying to build, especially myself as an ag lender there, you're trying to build relationships, and I've I'm from the area, been in the area a vast majority of my life, and know a lot of people in the area. But, when you're working with a banking relationship and all the financial aspects of it and things like that, it takes a little bit to, get somebody to move from one bank to another, or, move their business that way. So you start working with the relationship and develop that, and then, show them how we can handle all their needs and, hopefully do a better job than where they're at, or if there's turnover at their bank, that I'm kind of here and always available, and just kind of approach it that way.
There you go.
So, Chad, as you think about the stability of banks right now, right, there's been so much that happened out in the Silicon Valley, and now I've had a number of questions about the stability of banks, that, especially those that primarily focus on ag lending. Would you say Dakota Bank has a big ag lending portfolio? How do you feel about what happens in the ag industry right now? All the stats I read are very, very positive for us. What's your opinion of those things?
Dakota Bank themselves, they're basically, if you, I pulled up a report from the American Bankers Association, and, Dakota Bank by volume, just by loan volume, we are the 13th largest ag farm lender in the country, and basically a 35% share of our total loan volume at Dakota Bank is in the ag sector. Both farmland loans and farm loans rolled in together. And that's kind of a bigger percentage compared to a lot of other banks in the area a little bit. So we are pretty heavy ag based, but at 35%, there's still a good mix of consumer and commercial business out there, assets and loans. And I think it helps diversify what we have out there. You're not as reliant on just the ag sector. I mean, when things are going good, they're good, but we all know, everybody who's been in ag for as long as some of us have been, that, that's a roller coaster cycle all the time, and you don't want to have, the old all your eggs in one basket type thing. You can run into issues with that, but Dakota Bank is, pretty well split up on their whole asset base on where everything lays. Now, like I said, 35% ag based in their volume is pretty significant compared to many banks, but it's still, broke up, roughly a third of what the total is. So it's well diversified to help withstand, anything that comes along in the industry, whether it's ag or if you run into commercial issue or stuff, you kind of have some offsetting ways to keep everything balanced.
I think we're going to be in fabulously good shape as an industry right now, even though folks are a little concerned about where the banking industry lies. If you have ag banking in your background and in your portfolio, I think it's very, very solid. So much appreciated for that answer, Chad. It is the bottom of the hour, 1:29 in the afternoon, folks. That's going to lead us right into our break. And when we come back, we have more questions for Chad, but don't be afraid to give us a call on our Red Wing Shoes hotline, 701-293-9000, and that way you can join our conversation. Plus, send us emails, weather or ag, at flagfamily.com. We would be thrilled to be able to do that with you.
The Gowan USA Dry Bean Herbicide Platform delivers. Get premier dry bean weed control from Eptam 7E and Sonlet HFP, providing excellent pre-emergent control of grasses and key broadleaf weeds, and they can be tank mixed with many pre-products. Follow with a post-application of permit and clean up the late flushes of nutsedge and other broadleaf weeds. Use Eptam 7E plus Sonlet HFP followed by permit for clean beans and higher yields. Always read and follow label directions from Gowan Company.
It's Jay and Ronnie from the Coffee Club, and we enjoy drinking coffee because it keeps us energized and focused.
Well, let's be frank. I enjoy drinking coffee because coffee keeps me wide-eyed in the morning, but I'll tell you this type of coffee is organic, specialty-grade coffee, beans selected from the top 2% available, 100% Arabica bean coffee, certified organic, non-GMO, low acidity, rich, smooth, and ready to drink.
The finish is clean and it has a pleasant aftertaste. It's delicious. It's so far the best coffee that we've had. It's also roasted and packed in the US of A. We love it and we guarantee you will too. All you need to do is go to mystore.com, click on My Coffee, and enter the promo code WDAY.
That's promo code WDAY to get your own My Coffee.
It's also roasted and packed in the US of A. We love it and we guarantee you will too. Go to mystore.com, promo code WDAY.
Jay, you're a car guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
When your car breaks down, you want a towing company you can trust, right?
Absolutely, Kelsey. I want a local company that's experienced, provides fast, reliable service no matter the situation, and available 24/7.
Exactly. I'm Kelsey Lomsdahl, owner of Aggressive Towing and Recovery, family owned with 15 years of experience. A name you can trust. You may not need us right now, but when you do, there's only one name you need to know: Aggressive Towing and Recovery. Online at aggressivetow.com.
I finally got tired of tossing and turning all night. A bad mattress meant sore shoulders, back pain, and when mama doesn't sleep, look out.
You know it. We've heard those Comfort King ads. Best beds ever, made right here at the Fargo factory, and a lifetime comfort guarantee.
We went to check them out to see what the fuss was all about. Man, they are not lying. We chose a mattress we both liked.
They built it, delivered it, and took our old bed, no hassle.
Seriously, if you're not sleeping well, see the team at Comfort King. Comfort King Mattress Factory, the original mattress factory of the Dakotas. Sleep well, live well.
Imagine getting ahead of your irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C by treating it with Linzess. Then you could start proactively managing your constipation with belly pain and get ahead of your symptoms. Talk to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine what could relief from IBS-C mean for you. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
For powerful HP tech your business can count on Staples. Staples has great prices on a full range of HP printers, PCs, laptops, and monitors. And now through May 27th, score an extra $50 off all HP laptops regularly priced $599.99 and above with the Staples Connect app. Plus, this week only, the HP OfficeJet 9015E wireless color inkjet printer is $70 off. For the best deals on the best HP tech for your small business, shop Staples. In-store only. Excludes Chromebooks and clearance.
Pucklet Chevrolet Buick GMC in Valley City makes it easy to find your next Chevrolet Buick GMC or pre-owned vehicle by offering a great selection at our best prices possible.
Welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Bridgette, Readel Ag Director, along with meteorologist extraordinaire Justin Storm. And you got your title back. It's a good day. And a big thank you to one of our Here We Grow sponsors, Ellingson Drainage. Ellingson knows that water management plays a crucial role in long-term yield performance and soil health. And with the late planting spring that we're in right now, they are making a difference in many fields. If you are concerned about proper subsurface water management on your farm or in any of your fields, please contact Ellingson Drainage today at ellingsoncompanies.com. Now, we are happily visiting with our guest today from Dakota Bank, also a Here We Grow project sponsor, and that's Chad Priwe. Chad is an ag lender with that bank. And Chad, just in the short time that you've been with Dakota Bank, and I know you have a longer history in ag finance, if you will, within the industry, are you seeing a trend of newer farmers getting more involved than they have been in the past? Do you feel like we're seeing a bit of a changing of the guard from some of our more long-established operators?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a rollover, if you will, of farming age that's out there. The demographics of the farmers, more so in our area, and I think it's more than just our area, but throughout the valley and places around here, a lot of the farmers are kind of nearing that retirement age, and have sons coming up on the farm and, trying to transition into some of that. I mean, it's always been that way, but it seems, pretty predominant now. I guess just a lot of people in those, early 60s, early to mid 60s and looking to transition out. And there are still, we're losing some of the younger ones that aren't hanging with the farm and branching off into something else. Maybe just other ag type careers and stuff, because farming isn't the easiest thing to just jump into and run away with. But there's still plenty of them out there that are willing to stay on the farm and make the transition and keep everything going along and keep building on what's there.
And I realize, being in the Red River Valley, you probably see more grain operations than you do livestock, but do you see more diversification where there are additions of livestock to what's historically been a grain operation?
Haven't seen actually a whole lot of that. I guess what I'd call in the valley proper here to speak of. It has transitioned out a little bit more. There's some smaller ones hanging on here and there, but as when you drive throughout the countryside, you can tell some of the old places that were feedlots or were dairies and stuff like that, and those buildings are all older and vacated, and just kind of once something with that too. I mean, there's livestock is such a cyclical thing, and almost worse than production ag for that matter at times, I guess, but that's such a tough one to keep going, and it's so labor intensive and time intensive where, when you've got livestock, you can't hardly leave and do anything else. You're always there taking care of them. And I think that's just kind of trended away a little bit on there. And it's kind of held, at least, like I said, more, and as you alluded in the valley here, a little bit more definitely into production ag.
I got one for you. You're going to go back to, you had made the comment that, some farmers are getting to the point where they're starting to consider or are at the point where they'll be retiring, and either family or someone else is there working on the farm, either about to inherit it or just take over the operation. You have some that are working their way into that position, and then you also have some that are just wannabe farmers, and that's what they want to do, and maybe they don't have any farming experience and they want to start something themselves. So as an ag lender, what are some of the criteria that you would look at for someone newly trying to start a farm in order to create a farming operating loan?
When you're starting out, whether you're transitioning into a family farm and taking over for a parent that's running it now, or which is more typical of what you see happen, it's tough to if you want to use the term just start out as somebody getting into it. It's so capital intensive, and when we look at it from an ag lending aspect, to protect the bank's investments and deposits and all that stuff, we need to be collateralized on loans. So you have to have, offsetting collateral, just like, I guess, any loan for that matter. When you go purchase a car as a consumer, the car is the collateral on the loan most times. And, similar type thing on the farm end with equipment or crop and stuff like that. So you have to, have enough assets available to be able to collateralize your loan and do that. And, as you guys have kind of looked into a lot of this stuff and, probably hear some of the numbers of some of the equipment that's out there, let alone some of the land and prices and stuff like that. And that's the other aspect, let alone it's a lot of dollars involved in the equipment side of it. But, if you don't have land, whether you're renting or we'll say trying to buy, it's pretty tough to do a quarter section of land. If you're going to go out and pay $8,000-9,000 an acre for it, that land is not going to support itself. There isn't enough production and net income off of that, even in good years, to be able to sustain that and carry itself. So you're always kind of leveraging over, an operation versus, just a quarter or section on its own.
Right. So say you were in that situation and you wanted to buy a quarter, and you can't put the land up as collateral because it's just not, like you just mentioned, you can't quite get that out of it. You'd either need to have quite a sizable down payment to reach some of that collateral, or maybe throw something else in exchange, like a house or another piece of equipment as collateral to kind of reach that threshold.
Yep, and a lot of times, especially on the real estate end, you typically want to keep your collateral the same. So if you're purchasing a quarter of land, you're going to want other land that's unencumbered to go with that, to be able to have the collateral base to support the loan.
Okay. So I got another one here for you, and this is an email question. And if you'd like to send an email, you can feel free to do so at weatherorag@flagfamily.com, or you can even call the Red Wing Shoes phone line at 701-293-9000. Emailer wanted to know, do you recommend farm operations having an operating loan or a revolving line of credit, and what's the difference between them?
Well, there are different types of an operating line of credit. I guess we'd call it, one type of loan itself, which is, a line of credit that you can advance on. Now you can have a revolving line of credit where, say you have $100,000 and you borrow $25,000 to, seed and chemical or seed and fertilizer in the spring, and then later on you get some crop proceeds in and you pay back that $25,000, you have another $100,000 available. There is, and it depends on terminology on where you're at, drawdown line of credit, or missing the other term on there, but you can do where you have $100,000, and as you draw that down, once you repay, you don't get any more of that available to readvance.
Okay.
It's just a simple, the term I've been used to is a drawdown loan on it, where it's just one way down. Now revolving is definitely handier on that. You can probably keep your overall top end limit of that lower because you're rolling that money through there. But you can also, keep rolling, advancing money off of that and keep running through crop proceeds, and can get yourself into a situation where you've got a balance run up out on that you don't have crop proceeds or any type of cash income to pay that back off. So you have to know what you're doing operating, and we as ag lenders try to monitor that a little bit, or when we're setting up that in the winter, or before the operating year, when we're renewing or setting those up, we look through the budget and get an idea of where that's at. So
would you say it's kind of like in a way, kind of just like a credit card?
Yep.
Like you take some, you pay it back, you can take more, you pay it back, kind of like that, but obviously there's some approval to it, or monitoring?
Yep, it's a whole lot exactly like a credit card on that, where it will go up and down. But yeah, we try to monitor where that level should be, what can be run through that according to expenses and crop income, and then we try to watch that. And obviously, no grower wants to get in that position either. So they're obviously watching it on their end too. So you don't want to get overextended on something like that.
Okay.
So I like the way you said you'd be monitoring things, and I'll be honest with you, Chad, we need a lot of monitoring here between Justin and I on this whole project, so that's probably a good idea.
I thought it was more like babysitting, but okay.
There's a little bit of that. Chad and I have known each other for a while. He completely understands my squirrel behavior from time to time. Ooh, bright shiny object.
Yep.
So
let's go buy it.
I can relate.
Right, let's do that. Chad mentioned budgets, and that was one thing when we started this Here We Grow project is our general manager, Steve Hallstrom, said, what are we going to invest in this? How are we going to finance it? What are we going to do? And so one of the things that I did with Steve was got NDSU's crop budgets for the year and based it on soybeans versus corn, what we wanted to go with. Chad, how do you feel about that? If someone comes to you with a budget, should they look at using something from NDSU? Are you going to recommend something different for them to try to get a good plan together for their growing season?
NDSU, our extension people throughout the state in this area, both sides of the river, to the south for that matter, all that do an excellent job on researching that type of info and tabulating it and putting together budgets that you can use as kind of a reference or a resource. Now, obviously, if you're a existing farmer, been doing it for years, year to year what you need to have, and history is kind of the best indicator on there. You can see what you've spent previous years, and you try and develop kind of a trend or an average on what's there. And granted, obviously grain prices go up and down year to year, let alone throughout the year. Same with inputs, not quite like grain prices, but, fertilizer jumps around plenty, chemical, seed, and that, varies to some degree, mostly, trending up a little bit. It does come back once in a while, but as things always seem to kind of scale up a little bit. But, your historical expenses from your own records, tax records, combination of both, that's your best telltale of how to look back and see what it is you typically use or need on there. And then, the SU or extensions as a whole, U of M, and I know there's a place down south that does some extension stuff too, in a different state. But I know I've only heard of that a couple times. But
I know their claim to fame is ice cream and once in a while football. I mean, I'm going to let them have that, and I know I'm going to get hate on Twitter for it, but bring it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the football kind of ended at the border, but anyway, whole different thing. But yeah, it's. You can. They're a good reference to kind of a self-check to see what's been researched out there and what Extension is seeing, and people that report to them, and it's it's kind of a good check all on that.
That's great, and I'm looking forward to this, learning more about the ag business, the ag lending, because we're doing our Here We Grow campaign, and we're I'm getting my feet wet for the first time in agriculture, and I'm having a blast. But when me and Bridgette realized how much of rock stars we are at farming, and we're ready to take it up to the next level and buy some land and get some equipment, I know that you're going to be able to help us out get that. With all the other existing banks, lenders around the area, and in a way being the new guys to town, or at least in our area to being new, why Dakota Bank? What differentiates you, or what are you guys doing that separates you from other people?
Well, I guess we just, I just say Dakota Bank itself. We're a $3.7-ish billion bank in assets, so we've got size to be able to handle various sizes of operations and take care of your needs within, in-house. We've got branches. We're headquartered out of Aberdeen, South Dakota. We've got branches all over South Dakota, North Dakota, and one in Minnesota. And Dakota Bank started out as an ag bank. Originally focused heavily on ag. They've always been involved in ag. Moved into the Fargo area to focus on ag in this area and try and build a portfolio here, along with some of the other things the Fargo area brings, commercial and retail wise and stuff. But I guess just the history of it, we've got board of directors that are local South Dakota, North Dakota business owners that make the decisions. They've been through the stuff, they've seen it. We've got a good credit department that's seen many different ag situations and things to be able to work through. And I guess, even myself in this area, I mean, I've been in this area basically my whole life, and I've always been ag, grew up on a farm, and always been involved in that type of stuff. And I guess just, the experience of it and knowledge of it, from myself to the bank to our board of directors, credit committee, everything. I mean, we've just, we're able to handle pretty much anything that comes our way.
That's great. And it's not just ag, right? You guys got everything else to help everyone else with the everyday essentials, car loans, mortgages, stuff like that.
Yep, full service bank. Like I said, the branch is located on 13th Avenue over by Target. We do deposits, checking, CDs, money markets, consumer loans. Believe we're in the works of having a mortgage banker in the branch soon, and then obviously I do the ag end, and we've got a commercial banker, and full service bank.
Awesome. If someone wants to get more information, where can they go to?
Best bet is dakotabank.com, and you can see all the locations and all of our info on there, and the branch info, address, phone number, and all that is on there. And we'd be happy to do whatever we can for you.
Awesome. Well, Chad Priwe, ag lender from Dakota Bank, thank you for jumping on here with us, telling us a little bit more about what you do, and setting me and Bridgette in the right path for when we start our own farm. So we wish you the best of luck with everything going on over there at Dakota Bank. And when we come back, we'll touch on a few ag topics and a look at the forecast. But first, the American Ag Network.
It's me, Janae from the Coffee Club, and I am super excited to tell you that Hotworks Fitness Center is opening soon on Highway 10 East in Moorhead. Unique infrared workout sessions, including yoga, Pilates, and cycles, great for weight loss, improved circulation, detoxification, and so much more. If you become a Hotworks VIP member right now, it's only $10 to enroll and $44 a month, saving you $15 a month. So become a founding member. Find Hotworks Moorhead on Facebook.
Boston Tri-Co-op is hiring an agronomy manager. Must have sales and agronomy experience, able to sell crop protection, fertilizer, and chemicals. College degree in agronomy or equal experience is preferred. Enjoy competitive salary and benefits, including health, long-term disability, dental, life insurance, HAS, paid vacation, and retirement match and profit sharing. Email resume to jen.howard@bostoncoop.com or call 218-435-6919 and ask for Brent. Boston Tri-Co-op, hiring an agronomy manager, and it could be you.
Hey, Ronnie, grilling season finally here this weekend. I'm going to sit on my deck with a cold beer and watch Alex grill some meat.
Speaking of meat, Jay, our great friends from Meats by John and Wayne will be giving away a meat bundle this Thursday on your show. All you have to do is listen for the call-in song. Cheeseburger in paradise. And be the 9th caller.
Ronnie, there's a reason those guys have been voted best butcher shop in the Red River Valley since 2016. Meats by John and Wayne. All your meat needs.
Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon reminds you that spring field work is one of the busiest times of the year. It's also one of the most dangerous. Getting everything ready before the busy spring planting season contributes to efficiency and safety. Make sure all equipment is in top operating condition. Take time to make sure this planting season is safe and productive. Welton's Tire is one stop for auto service, tires, and on-farm tire service. Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon, online, weltonstire.net.
Grain markets remain higher on Monday. This is the American Ag Network. of Jesse Allen with this market update. We're talking now with Arlen Suderman of Stone X. Arlen, let's take a look at the grains. We are being led higher by wheat in this general risk on environment here today. That's spilling over into quarter beans as well. As we take a look at this grain and oilseed trade, what's your general assessment of how things are shaking out here so far on Monday?
It started off risk on, just as you indicated this morning, and mostly the commodity in both the commodities and in the equities. The equities were not able to hold on to that strength. They've kind of traded both sides of unchanged, but the commodities have continued to push higher for the most part. And you're right, it's led by Kansas City wheat. A lot of the strength goes back to last Friday's USDA WASDE report, which, as we expected, had surprise bullish numbers in there in the size of the wheat crop, even smaller than what I anticipated. And I had one of the smaller estimates. So we are seeing that strength in wheat. A lot of it is short covering, especially in Chicago, where the funds had big short positions. Suddenly, when you look at the world balance sheet now, we've got to worry about the drought in Argentina as they try to plant their 2024 crop. We got to worry about the Australian crop, which tends to be small in El Nino years. We've got to worry about the Canadian crop, which is expected to see some dry soils. And also Russia and Kazakhstan have some dry soils in their spring wheat belt. Suddenly all those things matter a whole lot more, along with the grain initiative. We're seeing strength in the meal market on Friday and again today, supporting strength in soybeans. Corn along for the ride with some bargain hunting buying after the recent break in prices, and strength in wheat really helping pull it up.
That's Arlen Suderman of Stone X on the American Ag Network.
Hey, welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. It's 1:55 in this afternoon. We got temperatures approaching 80 degrees outside. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. Get out there and enjoy it. We'll be shooting for highs in the lower to mid 80s today. And wind won't be too bad either, around 5 to 15. A few gusts up to 20 will be possible from the west-northwest this afternoon. Tonight, 55 degrees for a low, while mainly clear skies. Light wind out of the west, around 5 to 15 miles per hour. And hey, get this, the warmest day of the year so far is what I'm forecasting for tomorrow. We'll be in the mid and upper 80s. For some reason, I almost said 50. That's not warm at all. Ugh.
Goodness.
No. Mid and upper 80s. We'll hit like 87 degrees here in Fargo, Bridgette. Can you believe it?
I'm not ready to sweat that much.
It's too warm for me at this point in the year. I mean, we just came out of a deep freezer, and now we're at 90. What happened to spring?
Well, you're a redhead. You're a little fragile, so we got to be careful with you. We don't want you to over-tan. But those of us over here on the brunette side of things, we just sweat a lot. So good luck. God bless. Buy deodorant.
Hey, I'm from Norway, and I can barely handle the sun over there, yet alone here, where it's a little stronger.
I understand entirely. That's why you're a meteorologist. We try to keep you indoors as much as possible.
Watch out. Some of these computer screens will burn me, too.
That's right. We don't want it to blow back on you.
So, yeah, very hot tomorrow. Warmest day of the year. We'll have northeast winds at 10 to 20, trying to help cool you off a little bit if you're not quite used to the heat. We do cool things down just a little bit as we head into Wednesday. It does turn breezy, borderline windy at time with gusts up to 30 from the southwest. Temps upper 70s, lower 80s, partly cloudy, a chance for some scattered showers overnight Wednesday as a cold front swings through, and then we'll get in on that cooler Canadian air mass as we head into Thursday and Friday. Thursday, we're in the mid to upper 60s. We're closer to 60 on Friday, but then we start to warm back up in the upcoming weekend. So all in all, even though there's a chance for rain overnight Wednesday, a couple maybe showers Thursday evening, and maybe a spotty shower Friday morning. Forecast looking absolutely gorgeous out there. Just a little bit of everything for everybody. And we still got Chad in studio. He's hanging out with us for a little bit longer, and we're going to touch on a couple of these ag topics. I thought the first one that might be kind of interesting because you've been here your whole life, Chad, but you said that the banks originated out of Aberdeen, South Dakota. Yep. And we got a topic about South Dakota here, and it's them creating ramen noodles. So, Bridgette, what can you tell me about this tasty little salty snack?
So word about this started last fall. There's a company called Albany Farms. They're actually out of California, and they have been an importer before, but decided to create their own products, and that is ramen noodles. They're processing them in a plant in Belle Fourche. They are sourcing their wheat from Kansas, likely to expand and get wheat from other areas, particularly the Dakotas. And they're creating 5 different flavors of ramen that's now under the label Twisted Noodles. Twisted Noodles are currently available at Target locations and looking to expand to others. But for all you college students out there, or for Justin when I stock the snack drawer in the weather office, ramen noodles could be on the top of your list by Twisted Noodle.
There we go. So I just had an idea that popped in my brain. It's because we're farming, and you know how to farm. I know how to virtually farm. I know how to virtually farm very well, by the way.
Yes, you do.
I say we get some land. We start growing stuff to make ramen noodles. We have Chad over here help lend us a building to make the ramen noodles. We'll get him in. We'll give him 20% for the loan. And then we all just go into business with each other.
Look, I saw what you did with the Pringles when you made them into mashed potatoes.
Come on, those were delicious.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I think we have a little more test work to do on this ramen noodle situation.
Well, I got many years in kitchen industry, so I think I got the seasonings figured out.
You keep at that. I'm going to worry about putting seed in the ground. How's that?
Well, you worry about the farm. I'll worry about the production, and we'll have Chad over here figuring out our finances so we don't go bankrupt.
Well, and if our production needs more data, NASA is working to deliver more satellite data to farmers. They're working with 12 different universities around the country. They're going to primarily shuttle their data from their satellites, and they have about 3,400 of them that are under U.S. ownership. And the data is going to go to the University of Maryland and then transfer the information out to the industry for farmers' benefit. Things like fertilizer application and timing, irrigation timing, pest and disease detection, and soil health monitoring could be a part of that data.
So is this kind of something similar to what Sarah Levis is doing with field prescriptions with satellite imagery based on the grade of green of the crop?
I think it would be very similar. And, if you have that many more satellites, your accuracy just improves. So we'll take all forms of information, right?
Wow, that's super cool.
And I know Sarah's listening. She'll let us know if we're right or not.
Yes, she will. But that's going to wrap it up for us here on Weather and Ag in Focus today. I want to thank you for joining us, listening to our conversation, and being a part of it for the few email questions that we got in. We're back tomorrow, 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and Gary Elizak will be joining us on Thursday, so write that down. We'll be taking a look at what the summer looks like. Wednesday,
he's coming Wednesday. It's
He'll be here on Wednesday, sooner.
Yep.
But everyone have a great day. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.
AM 970.